Hey, what's going on, guys? David Book here with you, your online marketing mentor. Today is something a little different. I just want to talk to you guys straight from the heart. I want to talk to you a little bit about prosperity, all right? I want to talk to you about the profound effect that a prosperity driven mindset has had on my outcomes, on my success as a business owner, and how they can help you do the same, right? So before we get there, what I want you to do is I want you to remember a time when you had a really big breakthrough, where you accomplished something huge, where you had just a shift in your mind, where you realized that something more was possible. Okay, so just take a second, close your eyes if you need to, and just remember that moment in time when you had that breakthrough. Okay, remember where you were. Remember what the weather was like. Remember how you were breathing. Remember how your skin felt, what the wind smelled like as it passed by. Remember the feelings that you had, the feelings of joy, the feelings of accomplishment. And just remember how awesome it felt in that moment to realize that the world had just changed in an instant and new possibilities were now available to you. That is one of the most awesome things I think about, you know, learning something new, having a mindset shift, having a breakthrough is just that feeling that there is so much more out there, in this world to be experienced, to be um, a part of, right? And so it was when we open our minds and our hearts and allow those feelings that we had when we had those breakthroughs to manifest themselves again. It's when we do that that we can have some of the most powerful experiences that I personally have ever had. Is when I allow myself to be open uh, to the feelings of having a breakthrough, to the possibilities of doing something more, and that's where the mindset of prosperity comes in. Because I believe through things that I've learned, things that I've experienced, that all things make us prosper, right? Everything in life is a lesson, so to say. If we use it correctly, if we approach things from a perspective of humility and truth, then we can learn from every situation that we have, every experience that we go through. We can um, you know, correct our course, based on the mistakes that we make. We can correct our course based off of the things that we see other people do that aren't working, right? But we need to be open to see the possibility instead of the negativity, right? So, in our hearts and our minds is where we really hold ourselves prisoner because we're not willing to see the prosperity in every situation. Through our thoughts, through our actions and our words, we will act out into the world, what we believe. But sometimes these beliefs are really just kind of unhelpful to us because we're viewing them from the side where we have no control in that belief. Like, well, I can't control how much I get paid at my job, so I'm not going to care anymore. That's a way to look at it from the negative side. But a positive side would be like, I really enjoy the opportunity to have my job, but these are the things I don't like. I would like to work on a situation for myself where those things that I don't like, I can build something better and more positive around them. That's where owning your own business and doing your own marketing and being really free to pursue what you want. That's where that comes in handy because you can take the things that you've learned previously in your experiences and you can use those as motivation to build something that solves those problems or eliminates those situations, right? So one thing that I never liked about being in the military was I had to be at work all the time even when there was no work to do, right? Because when I first joined the military, I got on the USS Enterprise, right, which is a huge aircraft carrier, pretty famous. And I got there, and then it just had went into the shipyards for 2 years. And in my particular work center, we worked on the catapults. We shot the planes off the deck. So when there's no planes to shoot, you really don't have a lot of work to do. And I ended up spending more time at work doing nothing than I actually spent, cranking a wrench or launching an airplane. So that was really frustrating. But using that experience, later on in my life has allowed me to see that I want to build a business where I get paid directly on the amount of productivity that I create, right? The amount of content that I create, the amount of sales and uh, products that I create, right? Instead of based on how much time I spend, at my business, right? Not how much time I spend in the cubicle, how much time I actually spend working on things that make me money, right? So it's useful to use your previous experiences, take the negativity from them, reframe them, and then use them as motivation to get where you want to go, right? So, we talked a little bit at the beginning of the video about visualizing a time when you had a breakthrough, right? You know, that breakthrough may have been a big success for you, and it's important to remember what that success felt like, and to keep that in your mind when you're building your business, because this is not easy. It's not for everybody to build an online business, to be able to recruit people and to sell products and services and to build a brand and to be present on social media. Like, these things are not easy. They're relatively simple, but they're not easy. So you got to keep in mind when you had that big breakthrough, and you got to hold on to that feeling and attach that to your current business, right? And so that when you're working on your business, you staying consistent, being persistent, and keeping that prosperity driven mindset going. It's going to motivate you to keep going with your business, right? There's a story that comes to mind. Um, I've read a book. It's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Some of you guys might have read that. If you haven't, we're going to cover that in a couple weeks here on the blog. I'm going to go through the chapters of Think and Grow Rich, just like I have been doing with Start With Why. But anyways, inside of this book, there's a story about a would-be gold miner here in the state of Colorado who came out here for the gold rush, leveraged everything he had to get some equipment to come out here and start drilling, to start mining for gold. And this particular guy and the company that he brought out here, they drilled down and they had some success, right? They found some gold and they were super excited, but as they started drilling and mining down further, they lost the vein of gold and they got really discouraged because there was no more gold there, apparent to their eye, and so they ended up quitting. Actually, they ended up packing up, going back home to the Midwest, selling their equipment, and just leaving. Really, one of the guys I think actually purchased some of their equipment. He went out to their mining claim and started drilling and mining some more, and just down below where they had finished or where they had quit drilling at when they gave up and went home. Just below that spot was a massive gold vein that they could have picked up had they been more persistent. Had they had faith that their actions were going to produce the results that they wanted. Had they believed that and kept going, they would have hit that gold vein themselves. And instead, they went back home to the Midwest without a penny to their name, which was kind of a bummer, but it's a really good lesson of why you should never quit. Okay, if you're in online marketing, if you're doing network marketing, if you're doing business like this online, you have to commit. You have to make a decision that you're going to do whatever it takes, because it's a series of consistent actions over time that compound into the larger successful effect, right? You can't have success right away in this type of business. You have to build content. You have to do daily videos, daily marketing, daily blogging. And if you're not willing to commit to that process, if you're not willing to do that, then you're going to find yourself struggling, having a really hard time because you're going to constantly have the wrong belief. You're going to constantly think that your breakthrough is right around the corner, and you're going to constantly not be doing work to get there. So I'm trying to save you guys some time, give you a little bit of advice from the heart. Make sure that you're willing to jump in the pool, get totally wet, and stay in there until the job's done, right? That's what it's going to take in this business. So don't ever quit. If you're being serious about your business, don't ever quit, right? There's an image that comes to mind. A mentor of mine, David Wood, he says, "Don't you ever quit. That's it. Period. We are gonna, when the world ends and everything is gone, we are still gonna be sponsoring and selling people on the internet, floating around on meteors, cruising through the universe," which is a fun mental image. That all of society's gone, but David Wood and his buddies, they're still selling stuff, cruising around on meteors. But that's you get the idea. You gotta have that determination, and you gotta make the decision to never quit in your business. Bad stuff's gonna happen to you, but something better can come from that bad experience, right? You can take the negative, you can turn it, you can reframe it, and use it as your motivation to do what you need to do, right? So really, we are here in our businesses where we are at right now. We're in our lives where we're at right now because of the decisions that we've made up until this point. Okay, no matter why we made them, or who influenced us, or how long ago it was, whatever decisions we made up until now have completely dictated the way our life is up until now. It's important to know that, because if you know that, then you know that you can change your decisions at any point in time. You can change the way that your life is immediately. All you have to do is make a decision. Say, I'm not going to live my life this way anymore. You know, you can get rid of old relationships that are dragging you down. You can get rid of a job that's just sucking the life out of you. You can become a new you. All it takes is just one decision, right? The universe, a lot of time, will inject pain into our lives, whether it's, going through a divorce, getting kicked out of school, getting sick, losing a loved one. There's all kinds of things that are perceived as pain in our lives, but um, the pain's not there, I think, to make us suffer. The pain is there to make us realize that we can choose to live life differently. We can choose to avoid some of those pains if we want to, and it's there to motivate us to do something bigger and better with our lives. So a lot of times I think, maybe we're going through depression. We have huge emotional stress that we're going through. We just feel a heartache. Sometimes that's a pain that's there to teach us to move on. To get over it, to get through it, and to go on to something bigger and better. And I find that if you can just face that pain, confront it and move along, get past it, it helps a lot, right? So if you're not prospering in your life or in your business, then you're probably not operating the same way that you were when you had that breakthrough that we visualized at the beginning of the video, right? You're not visualizing, and you're not feeling those same feelings, and you're not committed to the process, right? So you really got to stop clinging to things that happened in your past. Whether network marketing is a big example for me. That's what this blog is about. It's about helping network marketers get more leads, sales in their business. But really, ultimately, it's about challenging and questioning the authorities that say we have to market in a certain way, that say we have to do things in a certain way. It's challenging social norms. It's weird to do video marketing, right? I mean, like, to put yourself out there to hundreds of thousands of people, it's a little nerve wracking, I guess. But the way that we're doing marketing online, the way that we can build a business here, is is much different than what we've done in the past. It's new. It's relatively easy for the masses to access, and it's becoming quite industry changing. The way that it's catching on, and I find it really fascinating. But I think a lot of times we don't want to step out in front of the crowd. We don't want to be different, but I think that we have to. If you're like me, and you want to be, a very talented, successful marketer, and you want to do big things, create communities, create change, create beliefs and causes that people can get behind, that things that can change the social norms of the world, then I think you're in the right spot, and I think that we just need to be humble. We need to keep our heads down, and we just need to get to work, right? We need to get out of our own way. We need to release all the pain and frustration that we've had through our businesses and our relationships and our experiences in the past, and we need to cleanse all that out, and we need to focus on the vision that we have in our hearts, because I know that everybody has a vision in their heart of the way that they want to be, the way that they want to live life, the way that they want the world to manifest. But it's not able to be projected because of the pain and the frustration that we allow to remain in our hearts, right? So we need to cleanse ourselves to get rid of these self-sabotage cycles. We got to drop our egos. We got to be humble, and we got to strive for truth to ourselves, most importantly. Because if we can't help ourselves, if we can't, figure ourselves out to be responsible, self-sufficient, and to be able to actually critically think our way into building a business and a future, and to champion our causes and to promote our beliefs, it's going to be really tough if we're not concentrated on truth and humility, which is, I think, some of the most important characteristics in industry captains and leaders of business. So with that, guys, I'm gonna let you go. I hope you enjoyed. It's just kind of speaking from the heart today, not really scripted or nothing crazy planned. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you found some value in what I have to say, and I hope that you can tune your brain into a prosperity driven mindset, because it's so powerful to hold on to the vision of your breakthrough, of your success, to motivate you on as you climb to the mountaintop. So have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you all later. Adios.